I now want to welcome Karthik to the stage, who is a group product manager building products for data scientists at Google Cloud. And he's worked in various roles, including software engineering, engineering management, data science, and product management at many different organizations, holding a master's from Georgetown and a bachelor's from Carnegie Mellon. So welcome to the stage, Karthik.
Thank you. Let's see.
You got it.
There we go. So I'll be talking about product management and cloud AI today. I wanted to ask, first of all, how many people here are looking specifically for product management roles? We have one or two, okay. How many people know or are familiar with the role of product manager or have that in their current companies? Great, okay, good. So hope. Oh, good. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Hopefully, we can inspire a few to walk this path. So I always like to start this type of talk off with a little bit of history. I know that everybody kind of knows what an engineer does. I'm not quite sure anybody really knows what a product manager does, but I will say the product management does actually have a pretty long history. This is widely considered to be, I think the first job description for a product manager. It comes out of Procter & Gamble, the consumer goods company, and it dates back to, I think, 1931 or so. And a lot of the ideas here are still kind of things that are taken forward today. Back then, they referred to the role of brand man, not particularly inclusive, but it was 1931. And the idea here was, study the products that we ship, understand what's doing well, what's not doing well, and how we can find ways to improve those products. And, there's a bunch of stuff in this original job description that still carries forward today, understanding the market, understanding and collecting data about the actual performance of the product in the market, working with a business line owner to actually implement ideas about how to improve the sales of these products, working with marketing to actually improve how things are sold. So that brings me to kind of the more modern picture. It's not that different, but I do have newer icons. And so the first step here is really, we begin with, I'd say, customers and users, right? So the product manager's role really begins with understanding what the market needs are, what the frictions that users face are, what customers really want out of these technologies, and then coming up with a strategy. So as you've heard from many of the other talks today, we often say, we're doing a healthcare product, but we're focusing on this particular niche of the healthcare product, and we're focusing on this particular set of pain points. And so that's kind of the strategy there, is to say, hey, who are we going after? What are we going to do for them? Secondly, figuring out how we're going to actually build a product that makes that better for them. Thirdly, and this is, I think, where the Google role of product manager is a little bit different maybe from some of the other companies out there, is you work very, very closely with engineering day in and day out to actually help build the product. And then there's the actual launch. You deal with everything from working with marketing to figure out how do we sell this thing, working with the various field teams, ensuring that they have all the collateral and materials that they need. You go through and you figure out how to price the product. So every possible thing about how to actually take this technology, put it in front of customers, make sure they know about it, they know how to pay for it, and so on. A product manager is involved with. And then finally, and this is, I think, important, is that all of these products change over time. Customer needs change over time, industry needs change over time. So you iterate a lot, you kind of figure out what the next steps are. So that's the life of a product manager. Why cloud AI is a particularly cool place to be a product manager is, well, you get to work with the best, as many of the speakers up here have been showing you. One of our goals of cloud AI is we really try to make AI accessible for the full range of users and companies that need AI. And I think somebody asked this question a little bit ago about what is Vertex doing to make AI accessible for people with less skills. I'll talk a little bit more about that. Finally, one of the nice things about being a PM specifically in cloud AI is that your products actually get to accelerate the pace that the entire industry innovates and the entire industry is able to work on these things. Fourth, I'd say we have a huge amount of work coming out of Google DeepMind and other research organizations around Google and Alphabet that we get to leverage and use as we think about how we want to solve problems, as we think about what problems we want to solve. That puts us in a unique position where we might tackle problems that are far more ambitious than other companies or other organizations might be willing to tackle. And then finally, we do have a lot of really deep partnerships with customers where we get to use to understand their particular problems. So I just want to go a little bit more into this. We've talked, many of the teams have come up here and talked about particular technologies, Doc AI. Others have talked about industries, healthcare, that they're doing. Cloud AI has products across a wide range of industries, everything from retail, healthcare, financial services, manufacturing, public sector. And within each of those, there are different types of use cases that we're looking at, different types of use cases that you're evaluating or building products towards. As a PM, you may come in as somebody who's a technologist, who's a very smart generalist who can get into any one of these industries and try and understand them better and try and figure out how to apply technologies there. Or you may come in as a specialist in one of these areas and then come back work backwards from there to what we can do technologically. So, PMs come in both focuses, technology first, some come as industry first focus, but eventually everybody has to build both sets of skills. In terms of the levels of sophistications in the uses that we have everything from API-driven solutions where you have models that we've built that you hit and you get answers to things like AutoML, where you just provide some data, you define your question, the system tries to build a model for you, all the way to things where you can build your own foundation model from scratch if you wanted to. This is a picture that a number of speakers have shown. I showed just for the point of saying that our stack is a very complete one as far as cloud providers go. We have solutions at kind of every level and targeting pretty much every user persona in every market. Going one step deeper into one part of the product that hasn't been discussed a lot today is the Vertex AI Platform. So the Vertex AI Platform has actually been around for a number of years. It's gone through a few different rebrandings over that time. But this is a set of tools that we provide users to actually allow them to build their own models from scratch, or take one of our existing models and tune it and deploy it. So I think the interesting thing about Vertex is we took this predictive platform that we've had for a number of years, and we kind of have been transitioning it into the world of generative AI. And a little bit more about what that means. When you think about the basic workflow for a generative AI model, you start with the prompt. There's a series of checks that we do around responsibility and safety to make sure those prompts are things that we want the model to be able to respond to. Then we actually send the information to a model. You can think about those models kind of coming in two forms: the off-the-shelf model that Google provides you, or a potential tuned model. And we'll talk more about that. And then we may provide some type of grounding. We may provide some type of search augmentation, citation checks, and again, another round of responsibility and safety checks before we finally deliver the model. The Vertex AI Platform is really about this model customization piece. So what can we do to let you take one of our off-the-shelf models and then tune it, evaluate how well that works for your particular use cases, deploy it, and then monitor the results. Because as your data and use cases change, model performance may change. As models roll out new versions, the prompts you initially thought were working may no longer work as well as they used to. So things like that happen. The Vertex AI Platform really provides that model customization step. And we use essentially the same technologies for both the generative pieces and for the predictive pieces. So the final point that I want to just emphasize on here is ever since Google Cloud launched, we have been taking technology from Google DeepMind, from research, Google Research, which I now joined, they call Google DeepMind, and bringing that to cloud and also bringing that into the open source world. As you know, we just launched a new line of foundational open source models, Gemma. TensorFlow goes back to 2015, 2016 timeframe. So we've had a long history of launching things from research, both as cloud products and as open source products. As a product manager, this is super cool because you get to go talk to a customer in the morning, hear some set of problems, and then maybe you go to Tech Talk in the afternoon by Google DeepMind, and you hear some researcher who may be still like 2 years out from having a fully viable solution to that problem. You get to hear their take on it. You get to hear what they're thinking about, and you get to make a decision. Hey, should we try and get the ball rolling and commercializing this technology? And so this is, I think, a very unique part of being a product manager at Google Cloud AI. And I think it's probably one of the most fun parts of the job, for me at least. So with that, right now, what we are working on here in Warsaw is that we will be having a product management role for Google Disconnected Cloud, which I think we had a pretty good presentation on just a few minutes ago. There is an ebook if folks want to go learn more. And you can always reach out to me with any questions or any follow-ups. So thank you.